Welcome back to 3 Inquisitive Kids. Today we're going to be doing this word problem. On day 1, Bob started reading a book. After reading on day 1, he had read 1/9 of the number of pages he has not read. On day 2, Bob read 14 more pages than day 1 and has read 1/3 of what he hasn't read. How many pages does the book contain? First, we need to write down what the problem told us. So it says on day 1, Bob has read 1/9 of what he has not read. So that's 1 to 9 ratio. 9 being how much he has not read and 1 being how much he has read. And on day 2, he has read 1 to 3 ratio because 1 is how much he has read and 3 is how much he hasn't read, but we can't compare them yet because they have different amounts of units, so we need to change them so they have the same amount of units. On this ratio, there's 10 units, and on this ratio, there's 4, and we need to change them to have the same amount of units, and their least common multiple is 20, and 10 times 2 is 20. So we need times 1 by 2 and 9 by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 9 times 2 is 18. And we need to do the same on day 2. We need to multiply by 5 on 1 and 3 because that would turn the amount of units into 20. So 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. So now we can compare them easier now that they have the same amount of units. Because on day 2, the amount he has read includes the amount he has read on day 1. We need to minus 2 units from 5 units. So that's 3 units. So we know that on day 2, he has read 3 units. And we need to find how much 14 is in percentage of the whole. So we need to minus 2 again because it says Bob read 14 more pages than day 1. So now we know that 14 pages is 1 unit and we have 20 units. And 14 times 20 is 280. That's the answer. Another way to do this word problem is with fractions. So if we that way, on day 1, he has read 1/10 of the book. And on day 2, Bob has read 1/4 of the book. And then to find out how much Bob read on day 2, we minus 1/10 from 1/4, which is 3/20. And to find out how much 14 is, we minus 1/10 from 3/20, which is 1/20. So we know that 14 is 1/20, and 14 divided by 1/20 equals 280. The final way we can do this word problem is if we set that x equals the amount of pages in the book. So then on day 1, Bob will have read 10th x. On day 2, Bob will have read 1/4 x. Now we know this, we can set up the equation 1/4 minus 10, which is how much he read on day 2, and then minus another 10 because we want to know how much 14 is. And that would equal 14. and x is the number of pages in the whole book. Simplify the parentheses. It's 1/20 x equals 14. Then you can times 20 on both sides and get x equals 280. Now I hope you learned something from this video. And if you have anything to share, post it in the comments below. Please subscribe and good luck with more fraction and ratio word problems.